What is going on, guys? It's your boy Sydney here with you this evening, and I've got an interesting topic that I wanted to talk to you guys about because I was sitting down with a buddy of mine over dinner. It's actually one of my workmates, and we were talking about, how people evolve and change over time, and a particular example that came to me was Kate Fisher. That's for those of you who want to look it up, Fischer. Now Zipporah Malka, a Jewish convert, converted to Judaism. She used to be a very, very, very attractive model, was married to James Packer, who is a billionaire son of a media mogul. She had the world at her feet, and now she is a physically and emotionally abusive, drug-addled, alcoholic land whale with no prospects of any sort of promising future whatsoever. And last I heard, she was looking to move back into her parents' back into her parents' house. I mean, talk about fall from grace much. And I've seen a few compilations of before and after photos of when girls were younger and then when they get older. And I actually reflected with my buddy on a girl that was one of my sister's friends in school, and she was really hot. Like I had a thing for her. Her name was Olivia, and I thought she was actually super cute. I was really attracted to her when I was in high school, and about a year ago she tried to add me on Facebook just out of nowhere. It's obviously, I don't know, come up as a suggested friend or whatever the case may be. Maybe she was wondering, what Scott looked like now. Whatever the case was, she tried to add me, and I saw the name, and straight away I was like, oh, hey, how you doing, Olivia? Like, I remember you. And then I clicked on the profile photo and I was like, whoa, I don't remember you like that. Freaked me the fuck out, man. And it just got me thinking about how much our physiology changes over the years, and how, I know this is a term that we use often, but how relentless the wall is. I mean, it's brutal, seriously. And this is something that's not taken into consideration by the modern woman, especially while they're riding the carousel, especially while they're off making their career and tossing the good guys to the curb. And I get it, like, the good guys aren't attractive. I get it. Like, I'm the alpha, right? So I've seen the girls with boyfriends coming after me. So I know how that works. I get it. But they don't get it. Right? They don't understand what they're actually tossing away, right? So logically, in terms of what they know, what they've learned, what they've been conditioned to expect and ask for and demand, they're saying, I want a man who's going to provide. I want a man who's, good looking. I want a man who's going to be loyal. I want a man who's going to do this, and I want a man who's can provide for me, and I want a man who's a good father, and I want a man who's this and that, and just rattling off, just never ends, right? Just keeps rolling off the points, right? Like I done run out of hands like 5 hands ago, and they're not even started yet. So, and yet then they're attracted to the Chads. They're attracted to the Tyrones, right? And no disrespect to anyone whose name is Chad or Tyrone. In fact, I think it's a pretty cool coincidence if that's the case. But if that's the case, right, where these women are attracted to the alpha guys, they're attracted to the alpha male, they're attracted to the guy who doesn't care what they think, right? Because women these days they're swamped, right? Especially with the advent of social media. I talk about social media a lot because it's played a big part in the shift that we've seen, particularly in the last 10 years in the Western woman. It's played a big part in the broader scale indoctrination of people into this identity politics, and into this reactionary mindset where as soon as you see something with a clickbait see something with like a clickbait headline, you're like, oh damn, you know, got to share this with someone, got to share this with everyone, right? Everyone should be mad about this. And then of course you share it and it's not actually what you thought it was about, and you're like, oh well, whatever, still a good headline, and you leave it there, and then more people get suckered in. It's this advent of fake news, right? But I digress. The effects of social media have created an absolute swamping of women with validation, right? So women these days are swimming in a sea of validation, swimming in it. They're swimming in a sea of sausage validation, right? Dudes are like hitting them up, poking them on Facebook, liking their photos on Instagram, hitting them up on the DMs, sending them friend requests, you know, clicking like on their articles. Absolute, as John Kevin says, absolutely drowning in it. Like drowning, like, bro, I can't breathe, I'm drowning in it. Like they're drowning in sausage. It's crazy. And we wonder why, right, as men, right? And I know a lot of you guys may have wondered in the past. Like, you get it now, right? You're MGTOW, you've been watching me for long enough, and if you haven't been watching me for long enough, go check out my back catalogue. But, you know, they're swimming in this sea of validation, right? Everyone's telling them, especially, right, even their own female friends, right? Even if they really need, even if the particular girl needs to jump on the treadmill and she needs to eat better and she needs to exercise, she needs to walk, she needs to run, whatever it is that she needs to do to improve her health, right? Right, she's waddling around, she's got like 5 fucking chins hanging off of her face, and every single time she posts like a top-down selfie, like, you know, the ones like oh, how you doing? Like, you can't see anything below my titties because I don't want you to see my fat gut. Right? You know the photos I'm talking about, the duck face. Oh shit, hang on, look. Damn, I look good. Anyway, this isn't about me. Yeah, so look, they're just swimming in validation, and yeah, particularly if any of you guys have ever had a flick through Tinder, then you'll notice sometimes girls have got Instagram accounts linked to their Tinder that you can actually flick through their Instagram account. Some of them have got thousands of photos, and there's mostly just selfies of them, or like, you know, selfie in bed, selfie in the toilet, selfie at school, selfie at uni, selfie in the car, selfie at McDonald's, selfie in the street. Oh, another selfie in the street because the previous selfie in the street wasn't good enough. You know, fucking selfie in the airplane. You know, selfie in the jail cell. Like, calm the fuck on. We've seen enough photos of you. We know what you look like. Calm down. Jesus. Excuse me for using the Lord's name in vain. Not religious, but some of you are. So my apologies. And good evening to you all. I've just seen your messages come through. I'm not going to address all of you individually, but you know who you are. I see every single one of you, and I appreciate you all. Yeah, saw it, selfie at the gay bar, being like, oh, you know, finally I can have a drink in peace. But then later they'll be on Snapchat, putting up a Snapchat story saying, oh, you know, just laying at home with Bae, and they've got like their dog. It's like, oh, I wish I had a real Bae. It's like, but you were just at the gay bar because you don't want a Bae. Like, stop asking for compliments. Stop digging for attention. Like, you're already digging for gold half the time, and now you're digging for attention. How many shovels do you need, woman? Social media is a big problem, man. And thank you for that, Cornstar Gaming. Good to see another Aussie in here. And you know what? They look, at the end of the day, yes, they're seeking this validation. They are insecure. And it's funny, right? Because there's a couple of ways you can look at what's going on. You can look at what's going on and say, well, you know, it's actually tougher for guys because girls have got more options. But I disagree, guys. If you have the right approach, it's actually easier for guys these days. Do you know why? Because you've got more access to more women and more resources. And if you're a man going your own way, you're inherently going to be more attractive to people, right? Both like, and when I say people, I'm not just talking about women, right? You're going to be higher up in the hierarchy than men, right? You're going to be the better choice as a potential candidate for a job role. Like I remember a very recent, if you guys get a chance, go and check out Rough Housing. It was a video that was done by Bettina Arndt, and it was she just sort of did the intro, and she had a video of her son playing with her granddaughter. But then she had an interview of Jordan Peterson and Warren Farrell talking to each other about rough housing and the importance of that play to set boundaries with kids, with their fathers, and how that can actually be part of the bond forming. Thank you there, Rashida. Good to see you. And yeah, smash that. Come on, guys, we've got 20 in the box and only 10 likes. You know you got more thumbs than that. Hit that thumbs up button for me, guys. Let's get this trending. And Sword says, attention seeking, sending out mixed messages, like the one asking about genital warts and then asking where the good men at. Exactly. They act like the best but take away the social media and make up nothing's left. That is absolutely 100% true. So correct indeed. So when you actually are looking at a when you're going and looking at a woman, right? Let's say you're looking at someone who's 20, 25. I want you to just envisage the aging process. Right? Just envisage the aging process and think about what you're going to end up with. Now, I know this may come across a little harsh, but guys, if you're seeing things now, if you're seeing signs where they won't settle for anything less than whatever it is that they want, right? If they're not prepared to work with you on things, if they're not prepared to come to the party, if they're not prepared to be reasonable and make contributions that are fair and equitable in a relationship, you better believe it's going to get worse from here on in. All right, unless you've got a girl, seriously, where she rocks your world so fucking hard because she just does everything for you, right? Unless she rocks your world so hard because she does everything for you, like she worships you. You're the king, and you know you're the alpha male, and you bring it. And even then, it's risky. I actually saw the best video on YouTube just this morning. I'm gonna have to try and go back through my history and find that again, because I'm gonna share it with you guys. Yeah, I don't know where I'm gonna share it, if I'm gonna upload the video directly or try and make a video and do an intro of me and then skip to it or whatever. I'll see what I can work out, but it's a great video. Pretty much pointing out what happens when you get married. And guys, honestly, never ever, I know this may sound a little brutal, but you should never ever tell a woman these 3 words: I love you. And it's not because you're incapable of loving, because you guys are, right? If anything, I'd argue that it's the other side that would struggle with the whole love thing. Right? When a man loves, they love with all their heart. Um, and the reason I say that you shouldn't say this is because when you say it once, you'll start to say it often. When you start to say it often, it loses all meaning. And quite often it can actually be the start of the betification curve. And if you guys haven't ever heard of what I'm talking about with the betification curve, go to some of my earlier videos and check out the description that has the details on how to get Stand Up Men's book on female psychology. It is an amazing, amazing book. Now, the betification curve is essentially where, look, I don't know whether this is the left-hand side of your screen, guys, or if this is the left-hand side. I don't know, whatever. Let's say this is the left-hand side, right? So you're an alpha male, right? And you've got the female here, right? And you guys start dating. Over time, you become less and less alpha, right? Until you're down here. You're a little beta boy over here. Whereas she starts off being submissive and feminine and becomes more masculine and more alpha, right? So you've gone from you being the alpha and her being the submissive feminine type, right? Where it's a really good yin yang between you and you work with that really well. And you become more and more accommodating and more sort of eager to please. And she becomes less and less accommodating and less eager to please. Right? You've actually given up your power in the relationship. Right? And I'm not saying that when I say you've given up your power in the relationship, you've actually given up the sovereignty over yourself. It's not about controlling the woman, right? Because you're not controlling her. She's making her own choices freely. And if she chooses to go, she will freely go. Right? We've got a comment here that are you a fan of Putin? Maybe Russians know how to treat women, and Russian women know how to treat their men. Just a thought. Absolutely, that's so true. That's so true. 100% agree with you. And part of the whole, if you start to say things like, because if you say I love you once, and it's not that you don't want to express how you feel, right? It's not that you don't want to express how you feel. But when you say I love you once, then every time you don't say it, they're going to question whether you love them or not. No, this is for real. This is for real. Listen up, guys. Listen up. You got to hear this. It's true. All right, because if you say I love you, right, then they're going to say I love you too. Then the next time they say I love you, you have to say I love you too. Because if you don't say I love you too, they will instantly say, well, what? Don't you love me? I thought you said you loved me the other day. And it becomes just this mind fuckery. Like, you actually make things more complex for the woman if you tell them once that you love them. Because then it becomes this game of I love you cat and mouse, right? It becomes this game where if you don't say it, what's wrong? Are you okay? What did I do wrong? It starts to send their mind into a tailspin. Right? So by simply showing them that you care about them through acts. Look, and I know this is a MGTOW channel, guys, right? And I know that this is, I'm not advocating to jump into a relationship, guys. Don't think that that's where I'm going with this, right? But I'm just, if any of you have ever been through this and you've told them that you love them and then you've been questioned if you didn't say it to them another time, right? This is the rationale behind it, and I'm explaining this to you in very clear terms so that you can grasp this, because it's so important to understand this, right? Because women are more inclined towards feelings, right? Men are more inclined towards facts, and it's been like this since the dawn of time, right? That's why it's not about what you say to a woman, it's about how you make her feel, right? That's why a lot of guys can't grasp why men can speak to a woman so terribly, but she won't leave them, because he makes her feel a certain way. a certain way that can't be overridden with just words, right? Yeah, and people do say I love you way too much. They really do. It's like, man, I hear people all the time just even walking in the street, they're on a phone call, right? And they're like, yeah, okay, I love you too, bye. It's like, what, every phone call you're gonna say that? Right, how much do you really mean that? How much do you really mean that from your heart? You know how many times my dad has told me that he loves me? Once. Right, he told me once. But I know that man would do anything for me. The depth of your love for another human being cannot be measured by the words that come out of your mouth. Always remember that. I'm getting chills right now just talking about this. You need to absolutely be certain that you're saying it for all the right reasons. It is a lot better to say I love you to a platonic friend than to say it to your romantic partner. As a man, if you're going to be in a relationship with someone, you must show that person, not tell them. Because you can tell them every day you love them, but if they don't feel like you love them, if they don't feel like you're being loving, you could say it 1,000,000 times and they won't believe a word of what comes out of your mouth. Right? Actions speak louder than words. Your credibility is in your own hands. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about, and I truly mean that. Your credibility as men is in your own hands. Every choice you make, every action you take, every decision that you enact defines who you are. Right? If you don't follow through on your promises, then you will have zero credibility as a man. But if you don't make promises and then you do things that you might have promised but you chose not to, then you will have huge credibility because you over-delivered, right? Because you never promised anything but you still come through with the goods, right? See what I'm saying here? Whereas you could promise the world and come through with the goods, but you might not come through with the goods all the time. Always under promise and over deliver, because if you promise something with a woman, especially, right, I mean just in general in the workplace, but if you promise a woman something and you do not deliver on that promise, finished, laters, you're done, buddy, you're finished, see ya. Right? Because in order to forgive, truly forgive, like deep, heartfelt forgiveness with absolute conviction from the bottom of one's heart, to truly forgive, you have to forget. And women will forget what you said, but they would never forget how you made them feel. Unless what you said made them feel the way they felt, then they'll remember what you said. All right? All right? And you know, women look, a lot of women would love actions and words. But they don't need words, they need actions, right? If you're going to keep them around. All right? I'm not even really keen. I think if I would ever have kids, right? I'm not let's not thrash Sydney on this one, all right? Because look, I was a kid myself once, and I saw the joy that my dad and my mum got out of raising me. So, it's not something I've completely wiped off the cards, although it is dangerous in this day and age. But for argument's sake, let's talk hypothetically. If I were to have kids, I'm not going to be telling them I love them every 10 seconds. I know so many kids, right? Their mum always says, I love you, I love you, I love you. And yeah, it might be the last time that you tell them. But if you've always shown them that you love them, then you don't need to tell them. Because they know. I don't know, is this constant mothers telling their kids that they love them insecurity? Their kids don't love them back? Is it insecurity that they haven't done enough to show their kids that they love them? I don't know. It's not my place to say. I'm not the mothers, so I couldn't accurately make a statement on that. Right. I know some of, my grandfather, he was a man of few words, but decisive actions. To the point where even just his stance and his gesture or hand movements would speak to us in a way that no amount of words could. He just commanded such immense respect with so few words, and that's very telling about, that real harnessing of masculinity. And if you want, wait, hang on. I'm gonna see if I can get something for you guys here. Yeah. See that? Men on Fire Australia hens parties. Man, I bet there'd be some carousel riding at those parties. Man, that shit gets raucous, I'm telling you right now. I ain't playing. Men on Fire. Psh. Fuck out of here. Smash that thumbs up, guys. So, I always get sidetracked, right? Always get sidetracked. Back onto the topic at hand, guys. So look, when it comes to when it comes to age is not kind to women. That's the reality, and that's okay. Right? It's okay that it's not kind to women. But the realization that women, just generally and as a collective, need to really capture, they need to really grasp, is that if they do not have substance, right? If they do not have something to offer to a man selflessly, right, without any expectation of reciprocation, they're in for a very rude shock when they hit that wall. Right, and that wall is usually around about the 30 mark. At that age, a woman's fertility typically will start to deteriorate. And there have been incredible advances in fertility, but they are very expensive also. If you want to go down the aided fertility path, using medicine and whatnot. But at the end of the day, ladies, it's up to you. If you really, really, really want to attract, and see, I see so many women, and ladies, listen up to this. Listen up. You got to hear this. This is coming from a real man. If you want to attract the type of men that you want to attract, if you want that guy who is confident, who is in control, who is masculine, who has a big cock, who stands over 6 feet tall, has a 6-figure income, then you better be bringing something to the table that's of some serious caliber. Right? Titties and ass are only going to last you for a few years. You need to bring intelligence. You need to bring respect for your man. And if you don't respect the person that you're with, ditch him and go find someone else. And if no one else is going to be good for you, then die alone. And if you don't want to die alone, then maybe you can take a leaf out of Sydney's book, right? And look at what's going on around you and learn from it. Don't just take what you think you know, because you don't know squat. I'm telling you. If you think that you deserve all of what I listed before and more, and you want a guy to earn a 6-figure income but only work 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, right? And you know, and have time with his friends, but always be free on the weekends, right? And never be out and about on a weeknight, but you know, sometimes just give me some time apart. Like, if you want everything when you want it, like you've got changing moods and you know, you've got all this different stuff going on in your head, and some days you want things this way, some days you want it that way, some days you want it this way, some days you want it that way. Like, if this is seriously, if this is how you actually want it, if this is how you're going to play the game, if those are all the attributes that you expect from a man, right? You expect a mind-reading model with money and charisma and a big dick and tall, and you want all of these things, but yet all you've got to offer is a big chunky ass cellulite butt and some saggy ass titties with some collagen on your lips. If that's all you've got to offer, right? You don't have a solid income to offer. You don't have intelligence to offer. You don't have cooking skills or traditional wife skills. Like, you know, you don't know how to sew, you don't know how to iron. Well, you want me to give you everything, and you just want to sit around watching telly and you know, living happy off my wallet? See you later. It's not for me. It's not for any of you guys watching. Listen up. Don't take that crap. And if you also, guys, this is something that someone in the comments brought my attention to today. If you have a narcissistic mother, if you have a mother who was toxic for you as a kid, right? Be actively conscious of who you are choosing to date and dissociate with. Do not fall into the trap of dating your mother over and over, because it happens, guys. Right? Girls date their father. Men date their mother. Be aware of it. John Kevin says women always expect the man to entertain them all the time. That's true. And that's why I think it's very important that you know, women have hobbies. But when I say hobbies, I don't mean going out to a club and getting drunk, right, while the husbands are home. I'm talking about, like, you know, maybe they want to be a life coach. Maybe they really love baking and selling it at boutique cafes, right? These are all awesome hobbies to have. Shit, man, maybe they like dirt bike riding on the weekend. That's awesome. That's a great hobby. Like, I'm happy to pay for you, like, pay for the 2 bikes so I can go riding with you, right? That's a cool thing to do with your partner. Am I right? Right, but when those hobbies are expensive handbags, when those hobbies are overseas holidays, when those hobbies are fancy cars, expensive dinners. Run! Run! Get out of there before I can even blink. Know what I'm saying? Oh, Ralph Wiggum, thank you. You said women's expectations are the breeding ground to disappointments. Now, Ralph, there's a particular phrase that I've coined, and I think you're the closest that I've ever seen anyone come to it, come to matching it. Expectations are the breeding ground of resentment. Right? Expectations are the breeding ground of resentment. And that's 100% true when you think about it. Godbotherer says, I'm a gun owner. Dating is not wise for me. All a woman has to do is cry wolf, and the cops confiscate my guns and I can't get them back for 10 years. Smart move, Godbotherer. Good man. Good man. Malika. Cut the MGTOW attitude, huh? Look, you know, I'm just talking to my peeps here, you know. At the end of the day, look, I know that I can attract high caliber women. I know that. But also, I understand that my time at this point with the particular goals that I have in my life is critical, it's paramount, right? And I can't give a woman the time that I need to dedicate to them properly, right? Typically speaking, you need to dedicate a fair bit of time to a woman if you're in a relationship with them, right? And I cannot give that kind of time and also achieve my life purpose, especially at this point in time. So for now, that's how it has to be. Later on, who knows? Who knows? Anyway, guys, if you want a good indicator of what someone might look like down the track, I strongly suggest that you have a look at their parents. And I strongly suggest you look at photos from here to there, like along a timeline, and see what direction they're taking. I was actually very pleasantly surprised. I looked tonight, and if any of you caught the photo of the girl that I was with, that I showed you guys the other night when I was clearing out my old stuff, then I looked up her name tonight and I was like, wow, you know, she's actually, you know, she's lost a bit of weight and she's looking good, you know, and I'm happy for her. So that was very interesting to see. But typically speaking, things get worse rather than better. Oh, man. Metal Dude said he chatted to a guy a few years back who lost both his pistols because his girlfriend made a false domestic violence claim. Standard. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? Yeah. Sort of Sword says, scope out the mother, look into the medicine cabinet, scout out how the mother treats the father. That is something you have to scope out, how the mother treats the father. 100% you need to know that. Because if the mother treats the father like shit, then the daughter is going to treat her husband or partner or boyfriend like shit also. Maybe an exception, high likelihood. The chances of that being there being an exception to that, very low. Speaking of be low, that subscription button, guys, it's there for a reason. I know that half of you that watch my videos aren't yet subscribed, so hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it so you get my notifications. If you're not getting my notifications, make sure the bell's still checked, because YouTube has a habit of unchecking them for channels like mine. And you are more than likely as well to get my notifications more reliably if you restart the phone. Oh, Mamaski says should probably see her habits as well. If she's a pack-a-day smoker, she probably will age faster. 100% she will age faster. So true, Mamaski. Thank you for that good point there. So if they are eating a lot of junk food, if they like, I see so many girls like young, like early 20s, like always eating Macca's. Oh, I'm just gonna go get some chicken nuggets from Macca's. Just gonna go get a Diet Coke. Like if they're eating that now, oh, they're gonna be like a puffer fish. You know the puffer fish? You touch them and like they just like pop out. So that's what happens when they eat McDonald's when they hit 25. It's exactly what happens. So McDonald's, cigarettes, excessive alcohol, drugs, any of those things, she's gonna smash the wall at 100 miles an hour. Straight off the bat. Straight off the bat. Oh, it's midday in Paris. Come to Paris. Girls are slim. It's because there must be no McDonald's in Paris. And no feminism either, I'm guessing. Oh, land whale hunting is legal in Iceland. Well, you know what I have to say to that, Sword? Moby Dick ahoy. Yeah, in uni on campus, they were hitting the wall after 1 year. I never knew it then, but we got meals and the girl blew up. Yeah, look, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna bounce for now. Thank you so much to all of you for giving the love to your boy Sydney. As I said, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button below, hit the bell, make sure you get your notifications. Check me out on Twitter as well. I've been a bit more active on that, sharing some cool articles, twitter.com/SydneyMGTOW. And if you do want to donate $1 or $2 a month, and thank you for my recent Patreons, you can do so at patreon.com/SydneyMGTOW. Every dollar helps, guys. If you $1 a month is $12 a year, so if you can spare that, that'd be a really cool thing for you guys to do. But I appreciate all of you, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Peace.